Right. I mean, I think one thing they can think about is in their own life, movies. You know, when you go to the movies, that's a visual experience. It's a cinematic experience, and it's powerful because you're moved by sound, you're moved by images. It's an intimate experience, sometimes even a devastating one, because of the storytelling power of bringing together all these different elements. And so writing is similarly a cinematic experience. You know, when you think about how you're going to tell a story, the outline I just made for a story I'm writing right now about the Nez Perce people and their dedication to salmon recovery and why that's so important to them. We decided, I'm just going to use this as an example, after spending time with them in their country over in Idaho, to do lots of different things with them. We went out on a river on a jet boat. We went to a hatchery and watched them do what they do in a hatchery. We spent time with their elders. We went to an archaeological site. Why did we do that? We did that because we needed to have the visual experiences and the personal experiences so that we could tell the story. So how does the story start? It starts with a description of what the Snake River Canyon looked like as rain shadows and sun and clouds are coming in and out of this beautiful canyon, to put people there. Let them see the beautiful qualities of changing light. Let them hear the river run. Let them be there. Take them out of their day-to-day world. Do something in the reporting and telling of that story that makes it concrete for people. So have a visual, have some kind of experience, something that they observe in the process of telling this story that can uproot the reader from wherever they are and put them there and instantly interest them, because it's beautiful, it's horrifying, it's frightening, it's incredibly interesting, whatever it is, make it cinematically gripping. And so when they think about, as they think about their topic, they should be thinking about, how do I make that real for people? Do I find an individual example of that particular thing? Is there a particular place where this really plays out? Is there a particular animal that is affected by that force? Think about how you go from the very big thing, whatever it is, to a very particular thing, whether it's a moment in a place or with a person or with a species. I call this the keyhole. You take something very small, very intimate that you can actually see, hear, touch, imagine, and then go to the big thing. Start small, go big. Because most things in life really are like that, aren't they? We encounter, we discover, we learn more, we continue. Writing is the same. You know, give people an encounter and then step back and explain what this is about, why it matters, why it's important, and then give it some more shoulders. How do we get here? What's the history of this thing? Give it a little more. Where's this going from here? And then start to button it up. How's that going to happen? Or is it not going to happen? And then walk away. What are we left with? What do we know? What have we learned? So these stories all have a shape. And as these students begin to think about their topic, they need to start with a moment. You know, it's not, it can't be just an unsorted sock drawer of facts. It needs to be structured for people, and it needs to be inviting. It needs to be fun to read. Reading is a special act. It's one of the few things we do. It's not even like a podcast where you set aside everything else to spend time with that topic. And you need to make your story engaging enough and beautiful enough and inviting enough at the very top that people will make that investment and be drawn in. So, you know, let's say someone decides to do something on deforestation that's been called out in the United Nations report on climate justice or whatever. I'll just use that as an example. So deforestation, how could you make that real for people? How could you make that a gripping thing you'd want to read rather than just sort of a boring, smooth report with no texture? Well, you'd want to go somewhere, wouldn't you? You'd want to go someplace that perhaps was clear cut. What did it look like? What did it sound like? And what is it? What did it enable? You know, what product was created from that? What was lost in the creating of that? It instantly becomes a doorway to talk about all these other things that are connected with deforestation. What are the downstream effects of having made that clear cut? And so I think that, it needs to start with something particular.